Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Se Vuelve Podcast. My name is Monica, and I want to thank you for being here. For this week's episode, we're going to be talking about self-care. It's been quite a process. Obviously, last week was the week of Thanksgiving. I went in with this intention of I'm going to bank this many episodes so that December can be a little bit lighter. That didn't happen. I managed to essentially film the last week's episode. And then that was it because there was other things that I ended up doing. Monday, I ended up running around errands. My dog had a haircut and then had to go grocery shop. And then Thursday, it was like an all day ordeal. And for that and after that, I was just like, you know what? I am too anxious right now. And I had to pivot. All right, so let me start off because I'm loving searching some things up. And I wanted to look up what is self-care. And the AI overview says, self-care is the practice of taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional health. It involves recognizing what you need in that moment and taking care of those needs. And the reason why I wanted to read this is exactly what I ended up doing because I was just overwhelmed. And even so this weekend, right, I knew I was like, okay, I have to film this week's episode. I wanted to film next week's episode as well because I have like a hangout, a party this coming up weekend. And I don't know if I was going to be able to have time to film that day. And there's always so much going on at my house that the self-care looked like I slowed down. Right. I think one of the days, this was last Tuesday, that I was like, okay, I'm going to film this day. No, I ended up helping my niece. My niece is doing a commission piece of art for one of my friends, Marge. She likes to buy the art that my niece paints. And I ended up, completely ignoring what I needed to do. And I was like, you know what? What I can focus on is helping my niece set up her painting. And it really relaxed me. Even this weekend, I went in with the best intentions on Sunday. I was going to film that day, guys. But I ended up not filming. Today's like Monday. This episode comes out on Thursday. And this is why I like this overview, right? I love that it says it involves recognizing what you need in that moment and taking care of those needs. And what I needed in that moment yesterday was instead of filming, I practiced yoga. Yesterday was the new moon in Sagittarius. It was the first of the month. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do yoga. Usually right after yoga, I go into like this little deep meditation. I did it and I felt so good. And I love that it talks about acknowledging like what your body needs because I think it's important for you to realize that even though you might have a long list of things to do like I did, or I had things that I needed to do, and my brain was just like running. But what I notice is that if I try to do something when my brain is running, it doesn't let me be efficient with what I need to accomplish. If it is possible, I recommend that you step away. And that's what I had to do. The day that I was planning to film, I stepped away and I helped my niece with her painting. Yesterday, when I sat on my computer, I was like, okay, press that record button. I was like, you know what? I'm going to step away and I'm going to do yoga, get a little movement in my body. Self-care for myself that I enjoy doing is practicing yoga, getting that movement. Meditation. Right now it's really cold and you won't see this video, but I have a long sleeve on and I have like a little crew neck sweater on. I have my layers on. But usually I would be going outside for like a 10-minute walk or 15-minute walk. Being out in nature for me helps me relax. Another thing that I know that I end up doing, which I haven't done yet, I will need to, is sometimes I'll even just paint my nails. I wish I could find this article, but I could have sworn that the one that I had read got deleted. But it talked about how painting your nails helped this individual go through college. So I wanted to read some self-care activities. So physical self-care. Activities that strengthen or restore your body's well-being, such as getting enough quality sleep. This is key. I try to tell my students and even my niece because they want to stay up all night and they want to be playing and this and that. And I understand because we used to do that, right? But I try to explain to them, your body is like your cell phone. Sleep is like charging. Every single night you plug in your phone to charge. The sleep is you charging, right? This is where our body restores overnight and we need good quality sleep in order for us to properly feel rested, feel restored. I'm going to continue with the list. exercising regularly, whether that's yoga, even sometimes if I am like feeling anxious and I'm sitting in front of my computer, sometimes I'll put on a song, I'll get up around in this room and I'll just shake it out, move my body to the music to kind of like unwind. Eating healthy, regular meals. I also agree with this. I am in that mindset of feeding myself, and I'm constantly working on feeding myself. I sometimes get into a really bad habit of skipping a meal. Staying hydrated. I agree. Sometimes I'll have like my big pitcher of water next to me right now since it's been cold. I'm into the teas, guys. Like self-care drink. If you like tea, get yourself a cup of tea, maybe coffee, something that makes you feel warm and cozy. I like a little cuppa. And that's kind of what the list has for physical self-care, but it also has an emotional self-care. That's defined as activities that help you build emotional awareness and learn to manage your emotions, such as journaling. One of my goals that I had for this year was to journal at least once a week. I wanted to do it kind of every single day, but then I'm like, I don't know if that's an attainable goal. So I set it to once a week and I do it at the end of the night when I'm in bed. And I think out of the whole year I might have missed maybe one day. That was when I was on my trip because I forgot. But journaling, yeah, journaling, it helps you kind of like reflect. It lets you also let go of things by like writing it down. The second thing on the list is meditating. I think I mentioned I have an app, and this app is for meditation. It has also like sleep guides and other stuff on there. I have a gratitude check in as well at the end of the night. But meditation, I'll usually do at the beginning of my day. All right, next on the list is practice self compassion and gratitude. The gratitude part I already kind of mentioned. At the end of the night, I get a little reminder from the app, and it says, "What are you grateful for today?" And then I mentioned in last week's episode that I usually do 5, but the app does like 3. I recommend you do anywhere from 3 to 5. And if possible, try to think about things in that day, things that occurred in that day. And the reason why I say this is so you bring awareness in what happened in that day. When it comes to like my list of gratitude things, I try to pick out things in that day that stood out for me. Practicing self compassion, of course. Always try to do that because I know that we can be tough on ourselves. I try to be compassionate and gentle with myself and say, okay, today you were able to do this. Or even the curls look nice, my eyes look nice, whatever it is. Try to practice little things to be kind to yourself. That's important. The next thing on the list is listening to music. Yes, absolutely. I'm constantly listening to music. I love it. Even sometimes at nighttime when I'm doing like my skincare routine, I'm listening to music. I can't wait to see who's going to be my top artist because I know it's going to be different than last year or the last couple years because my number one artist was my favorite band, but they're no longer together. So I think I've been listening to different styles of music this year, different types of music, or not just specific to like one artist. So we'll see what comes up in my rap. And then, oh, I love this one. Ooh, I love this one so much. It says, being aware of your boundaries and implementing them. This is hard. This one is very, very hard. It's hard, especially like during this time, because obviously we're being around maybe family members, we're being around friends, coworkers, whatever it is. This is key. Sometimes when I do get overwhelmed, I have to step away. It's so important for your mental health and for self-care for you to be aware of your boundaries, but also to practice. I know it can be hard, but I think that it would be very beneficial for people to practice this one definitely because this time around it's tricky. The emotions are high. There's a lot of things occurring like between your work, maybe your family. There's so much things going on that sometimes that can get lost. So yes, I love this. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to continue with this list. Others examples of self-care include seeing your doctor. Hello, yes. I know from experience myself, but also from like friends. Absolutely. I know that people can be afraid of doctors I have a friend that's like that or doesn't like hospitals. You have to do these things in order to care for yourself, to love yourself. It's so important. Your body will run down if you don't take care of yourself. So yes, seeing your doctor, definitely. Brushing your teeth. I think I told you last week, sometimes in my gratitude, I'll say, like, I'm so grateful that I was able to get up to brush my hair, to brush my teeth. Okay, listening to your favorite song. Absolutely. We love music. Catching up with a friend. Yes, absolutely. I keep saying yes. I keep saying yes to all these. If your household is stressful or work is stressful, maybe have a little meetup at the end of the day or the weekend and catch up with a friend. Another thing is taking a mental health day, setting goals and priorities, focus on positivity, staying connected. Yes to all of these. I know I keep saying yes. And then pursuing hobbies that ignite your passion and creativity. Absolutely. And this is why I'm here today for this podcast, because I don't know. I don't know if I see this podcast as a hobby, but I definitely see it as like my passion and my purpose. So yes to all of the above. Okay, let me see. Oh, and to kind of like wrap the list up, it says a well balanced self care routine involves each of the 7 pillars of self care: mental, emotional, physical, environmental, spiritual, recreational, and social. Yeah, I agree. Mental, you do stuff for your mind, physical, movement, emotional, journaling, meditating, whatever you want to do it for your emotional, environmental. I keep saying go outside, maybe even pet your dog or pet your pet, your cat, your rabbit, whatever animal of choice. Spiritual, recreational, and social. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm too tired, or I don't have the energy, but I know that the moment that I step away and I go and I meet up with them, my battery is charged. I'll kind of wrap it up there. Like I said, it's been a little bit of a process to kind of get this episode out. And then also because when I come to these episodes, I always want to put out an episode with like the best intentions, but also a quality episode. And I know it can happen sometimes, like put out like filler episodes. I always want to release an episode with purpose. Even though I was trying to do, I'm like, what do I do? Because originally I had something different. But the thing that kept coming up was this, or at least for me in my life, right? This last week was this. I was like, I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Da da da. This, So I was thinking self care. Like, I kept popping. I'm like, but is that too? Not to say basic, but is it too basic, ordinary? I'm like, no, because I think people are going to be interested in learning a little bit about self care or things that they can work on for self care. I know the holidays or this time around can be very stressful, can be overwhelming, and it even cause you to maybe a little bit of burnout. And I would love to be able to prevent that for you. And hopefully, some of these ideas, right? Some of them were things that I do, but hopefully, some of these things can help you out. I feel like some of them were things that are kind of like attainable. Please take a moment to take care of yourself. You are important. And I keep saying that. You have to fight for you. You have to be the person that looks out for yourself. Love yourself, prioritize yourself. Please take care of yourself. As always, I just want to say thank you to anyone who tunes in to listen. I would appreciate if you could leave a review and would be grateful if you could let me know what information resonated with you. Please follow and share on social media. The pages are at Se Vuelve Podcast or my personals at Se Vuelve Monica. Once again, thank you so much for listening. Nos vemos pronto. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.